Yo, Chrome, did you hear about Lil Durk? I know you heard about Lil Durk. There's no way you didn't hear. Impossible. Impossible. I'm sure you heard. That dude's getting RPG. That dude's getting RPG. Actually true. 99999. Damage cap. He's getting damage cap numbers. Actually true. Well, you know what? That works both ways too. Either that damage cap, those numbers is the years he's gonna get, or it's the damage he's gonna receive when he gets the death penalty, which is not a laughing matter to be honest, but it's either 999 years or 999 damage when they do the lethal injection. That's how serious the shit is. What I don't get though is like, listen, King Von lost. He brought his demise upon himself. He got killed. You lost. Why try and get get back when you just lost? You just have to, at what point do you just eat it? You just eat the L, move on with your life. You're rich, you're famous. What is this? How are you gangbanging as like a rich person, a rich, successful superstar? That's why I hope, you know what? I can see a world where being in jail, Lil Durk going to jail for the rest of his life, is probably a worse outcome because he's gonna have the rest of his life to be reminded how stupid he was to engage in some tomfoolery like that. At least dying, you're just out of here, right? But if he gets life, I mean, either way it's sad, but man, actual madness. They got death penalty in Chicago. No, I think he's getting tried in LA. I think the trial's gonna happen in LA because the murder for hire thing happened in LA. Or yeah, I think so. I heard he tried to flee to Italy. Yep, that seems to be the case. But he booked 2 dummy flights to Switzerland and Dubai. Oh, I didn't hear about that. But apparently one of his boys, he was wearing like actual TV show CSI type shit. One of his guys was wearing a wire for multiple years, and this guy was around Durk like constantly. So whatever evidence they got, it's inescapable. They probably got a whole bunch of evidence where Durk himself was saying shit. So yeah, it's finito. It's actual finito. Man was wearing a wire for like 7 years, yeah. What an idiot, man. That's just... I actually don't believe it. I don't believe it. Crazy as well. Because he's got such a baby face and man's doing contract hits. Yeah, that juxtaposition between his face and what he's doing it's definitely a mismatch. Just such a... It's like... It's a shame, man. It's such a shame. Of all the people to try and get back, it's like Von's death was the... I'm about to use the word clean, but I don't mean clean like a good or anything like that. I just mean that it was clean in the sense of there shouldn't be any element of we gotta get revenge. There just shouldn't be. He tried to set it off on somebody. His man came out the side and shot him. Like there is a world where if Little Tim didn't do what he did, there is an alternate reality where Quando Rando probably got killed instead. And it's a very likely alternate reality as well. It's not like some Doctor Strange one possibility out of a million. So it's just extra sad because it was a clean L. Just take it and move on with your life. Like it's just sad because in that instance, if you can't take the L in that instance, then it's some true Naruto shit. The cycle of hatred truly never ends. Even in the case where the L was clean, you can't take the L still, then there's no hope. There's just no hope for humanity, or at least like people involved in that life. Generation spills over to friends and family and goes beyond even the mortal plane. Yeah. Just actually ridiculous. And the thing that's sad about this one, well, not even sad. Ooh. The thing that's extra crazy about this one is that at least with like gang crime and all that stuff, right? there is a time and place to make the argument of, you know, environment and bad circumstances and, you know, growing up in an area where you have to roll around with a gun, and if you ain't got a gun, if you get caught lacking, like that's it, right? Like there are times where you can make the argument and say, unfortunately, the culture in the communities in where these things happen are in like a perpetual cycle, right? And there is that argument, and sometimes it's reasonable. But in the case of Lil Durk, you can't even say that. You actually can't say that, because he had so many opportunities to just walk away. And he just engaged in the most foolish actual demon. Yeah, the shy. This is the one time when like DJ Academics' War on Chirac, and he would call people the Chirac demon and shit. This is the one case where, you know what I mean, maybe it's real. Could be a force of habit. But with this case though, it can't. I guess what I'm saying is that this is too egregious to be a matter of habit. This is just actual poor decision making. Like extreme poor decisions were made. Semi-tangential, but some of them, man, even turned up to their victims' funerals and are standing next to the. Yeah, I've heard about that. I think it's one of the pitfalls of being from that life, still rapping about that life and having friends that associate from that life. But yeah, I agree. But even so, like, it goes both ways though. If you're in that life as a famous rap star, you must also congregate with other famous people, whether it's Drake. Like, we know Lil Durk and Drake have a good relationship. Like, there's gonna be people. It's not, I mean, perhaps the majority of his surroundings are just gangbanging people. But with that level of fame, at some point, you should also be congregating with people who are not of that life and are just, you know, regular famous people. I mean, walking around the streets with a tool, I can imagine pulling some guys out of London, dropping them in Cambridge and saying, I need this for protection. Yeah, I can see that happening too, because yeah, it's a behavior that's like DNA, almost like DNA level. They only know that thing. But even with that example, it just takes time. After a certain amount of time, when they truly realize, oh wait, I don't need a strap in Cambridge. Like, there will come a time where they should be able to put that down. But I don't even think Durk's situation is like even like, that's not even the parallel. Durk's situation is just, again, just poor. It's not a matter of, it's not a case where like Durk is like, sorry guys, I just can't help but put hits on people's head. I just can't help it. I've been living this way I've been putting money on people's heads to be killed for so long that I just can't help it. You can't even say that, you know? Durk should have done what most rappers and ex-gang members do once they get rich. Just pay them off and move on with your life. Exactly. So that I know he's changed up and he don't care about us, yeah. To be fair, 50 Cent was doing that gang shit well into his career. Yeah, but that depends on how far you're talking about into 50 Cent's career. Because with it depends how far you're talking, right? Because even after the first album and second album, the problem is that a lot of the aesthetic is wrapped up in the realism and the believability. You know what I mean? So yeah, the first album, second album, maybe you could say him engaging in that lifestyle or being around it is kind of necessary for authenticity, and it plays into the success of his career. But after a certain album, you could easily be like, yeah, there was a point where 50 Cent separated himself from that. And Durk, I don't know. I guess it's I mean, that's another problem as well. Like, to some extent, I'm glad this is happening as well. Let's not forget, after FBG Duck got killed, and then Lil Durk comes out with a song saying, shoulda ducked. Like, come on, man. In what world do you think this is fine? Like, we know that it's happening both ways. If somebody in Lil Durk's camp gets killed, the enemy camp is like, you know, makes a song making a mockery of it, but it's actually infuriating. Why am I fighting him like this? He was beating people up and he stabbed one guy in the studio during a fight. Who, 50 Cent? Isn't that the same for drill? You can't have a drill artist living in Chelsea, can you? Yeah, probably not. But he was too smart to be doing contract hits. Yeah, that's the thing, C4. Like, contract hits is different. This is next level. I mean, Diddy did that. Well, Diddy wasn't putting hits on people. I mean, Diddy was doing some wild shit. Like, if it turns out that the blowing up of the car thing is true. But even so, that's my point, right? Like, that still makes my point. If Diddy did turn out to do that, I would make the same argument. How is Diddy, as a rich, literal billionaire mogul, putting hits out on people? You know, it's just a sickness. Diddy got to nah. Tupac case is solved. I'm gonna stand by that. The Tupac case is just pure. It's pure. There's a word for this. There's an actual term for this. What is it? Not poetic justice. It's maybe dramatic irony. I don't even think that's it. Like, it may be the case that it seems to be the case that there may have been a hit on Tupac's head, right? But Tupac deciding to get into an altercation with those Crips at the casino, that led to his death. That can't be denied anymore. Poetic Justice is a Tupac movie. Theory confirmed. Like, Tupac and his entourage rushed Orlando Anderson. They got get back. They got in the car. They did a drive-by. End of story. It's possible that the hit was on his head, so when he got killed by the drive-by, it looks like, oh, it was part of a grander plan. But the reality is, he just got involved with the wrong people. He set it off on the wrong people and he got killed for it. That is the truth of what happened. There's no other way to look at it. There's no other honest reading, I don't think. Anything else to me is flat earth level. It's flat earth level of conspiracy, in my opinion. Okay, Charlie, but have you considered what's north of the North Pole? I have not considered that. Wait, isn't the answer that the South Pole? Or is that the meme answer and it's not actually the real answer?